All right, it's 6 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and get the meeting started. Hi, everybody. My name is Cindy Vilsick. Thank you for joining us today. I hope everyone received the email that we were changing the topic for this evening's leader chat. We are going to go ahead and cover leading effective digital meetings tonight. We thought it's a really timely topic and a good time for us to talk about it. We're leading lots of virtual troop meetings, and I know that leaders and volunteers have questions. So we are going to go ahead and get started. I have Patty looking at the chat log. If anyone has any questions, you can type it in there, or you can hold your questions until the end. All right. All right, so our agenda for tonight is we're just going to cover the purpose of digital meetings. We're going to cover the pros and cons, why, some good reasons and reasons against having digital meetings, getting yourself prepared for the meeting, maintaining engagement in online conversation, some different platforms that you can use for hosting digital meetings, and tips and tricks for digital meeting success. So the purpose of digital meetings, why would you want to hold a digital meeting? The purpose of these, basically is to stay connected with your coworkers, with your family, with other Girl Scout leaders, with your troop. You just want to maintain connection with people when you can't meet in person. So that hasn't been an option for us. So right now, this has been a great way to meet. We've been doing this for work meetings. We've been doing it for troops and for leaders and connecting virtually. You can continue progress on work that is ongoing, conduct important business in between in-person meetings, providing troop leaders with an opportunity to connect and learn from each other even when they can't be face-to-face, and providing an opportunity for troop leaders to familiarize themselves with digital meeting platforms and tools. So that brings us to the pros and cons of digital meetings. The pros, it allows troop leaders to attend and maintain connection with each other during social distancing. So since March, we have been doing social distancing, but you don't have to be disconnected. There's no need to secure a physical location, so you can really do it anytime from anywhere. I've been officing at home since March, and that's been great. We've had lots of meetings, and you can really just do it anytime, anywhere. You don't have to leave. You can wear your leggings and your slippers. It's fantastic. And it provides an opportunity for troop leaders to build skills in utilizing online meeting tools. So it can also help. You can learn how to do this for your troop. It will also be a valuable skill to have for your job too. So there are some cons to doing this, obviously. So technology can be a challenge. You can be in the middle of the meeting and maybe your internet cuts in and out and you're missing some important information. Facilitating discussion can be difficult because you can have people talking over each other. You can kind of miss the personal connection of the face-to-face meetings. No opportunity to distribute physical paperwork or information. Although we will discuss later, you can send out email reminders about your meetings and you can attach all of your information to your emails so everyone can look at that, or if they have a printer at home, they can print that. One thing I did want to mention that is not listed as a con here, and we will discuss it too, but online safety is a big concern here too. And there are ways to ensure safety of the girls and of your meetings, but you do have to pay particular attention to safety features of different platforms that you can use. So when you're preparing for a meeting, you want to develop and send the agenda out well in advance so that everyone's prepared. If you're doing a troop meeting, you want to let the parents and girls know beforehand what badge you're working on, what supplies they might need, just so everyone's on the same page and everyone's ready to go. You want to coordinate any additions to the agenda by email before the meeting. If that's not possible, then allow time for attendees to include additional agenda items. You always want to include necessary handouts or materials as an attachment in line with the platform that you're using. So setting up technology tools. You always want to do a quick run through with your presenters and facilitators prior to the meeting. When testing it, make sure you test it and the platform and make sure, give everything a once over. Try running through everything just the way that you'll be doing it at the time of the meeting. Winging it is, I am a fan of winging it, but sometimes you have to run through it first and get the bugs out so that you know how to fix it if something goes wrong on the fly. On your test call, use the same tools, the same device, your headset that you plan to use at the time. So if you're going to have a meeting and you're going to have the meeting on your laptop, don't do your run through on your tablet or your phone. Make sure you're using the same device because different platforms look different on each device that you use. Like the Zoom platform looks a little different on your cell phone than it does when I pull it up on the laptop. You always want to arrive at least 10 minutes early to assist with technology challenges. You want to make sure you can get on, you want to get your microphone working, make sure your camera is working. So at least 10 minutes. We have been shooting for 10 to like 15 to 20 minutes early, just so you're there and settled in and ready to go as your guests start showing up, because they will come early also. Maintaining engagement in online conversation. So like anything, you always want to be prepared. You want to develop the agenda and share it prior to the meeting, like we've talked about. Send out technology tools and instructions in advance so that everyone has the chance to test their technology before the meeting. Before the meeting, or begin the meeting by developing some housekeeping rules and stick to it. So if you want everyone to be muted and then unmute themselves or use the raise hand feature to be called on, then you need to make sure that you're monitoring that, or you have another person monitoring the chat log for you. It really is a two-person job to run a meeting. You also want to allow time for brief introductions so that everyone knows who's there. It's always nice also to do an icebreaker to kind of get everyone into the mood of the meeting. Keep everyone engaged and involved. Pay close attention to those who are trying to speak but can't, or those who are hesitant to speak. Make sure to gently provide an opening for them to join the conversation so that everyone feels welcome and everyone feels heard and that they've been given a chance. When we've been hosting online meetings, we've been giving a chance to all of the different girls to have the spotlight and show their project that they were working on, or to share their favorite song, and just get everyone involved. You want to make sure that you're interacting with everyone who comes to your meeting so that it's a worthwhile connection experience for them. You want to follow up with key takeaways after the meeting in case any attendees missed something during the meeting. Sometimes a lot is going on at the same time. Sometimes you might have girls talking over each other. So it's always good to send out a wrap up. So there are several different platforms for digital meetings. We've been using Zoom quite a bit. The free version limits your meetings to 40 minutes. So there is a little bit of a time constraint there. Security can be a concern, but we haven't had any problems using it with our council. You don't want to share the link for the meeting on public forums, and you always want to use the password. So we always use the password feature, and we send it in emails to the girls and their parents. We don't post the Zoom links on Facebook for anyone just to be able to click into the meetings. So that's important. Then there are lots of other safety features in Zoom. They can change their name when they go in there, so their first and last name won't appear on the screen. So there are lots of different safety features that you can play around with in Zoom as you get in there. Skype is another platform. It's free for up to 10 participants. There's WebEx. File sharing and content is limited in the free version. There's also Microsoft Teams. Not all troop leaders have access to that. Slack, limited but helpful functionality in the free version. Then you can use Facebook, just different Facebook groups. You need to keep it private on there and limited to those leaders who use Facebook, obviously. So if someone doesn't have a Facebook account, it would exclude those leaders from that platform. So we have some tips and tricks to share for successful digital meetings. You want to make sure that your meeting has a facilitator, presenters where appropriate, and someone assigned to monitor the question log or chat. These are all really, really important. So sometimes when you're having a meeting, your leader or whoever is running the meeting, maybe their internet will cut out. And then if you're not prepared or you don't have anyone ready to step in with that information, you might not have a successful outcome to your meeting. So what we've been finding, because technology is not 100% foolproof, so what we've been finding is that you just need to be prepared and make sure more than one person has the meeting information, more than one person has the agenda and can run the activities and whatever is going on. And then you need someone who can monitor the chat log and keep up with questions that might be coming in. Lots of different things. So running a meeting really is a two-person job. You want to prepare a few conversation prompts to bring all the voices into the conversation. So kids really are comfortable in this platform, but if they're with a different group than they're usually with, or it's been a little while since they've been together, you might need to bring them in a little bit. So you can look up lots of different conversation starters. Would you rather is a great way to get the kids talking, and just interact with them and bring them into the conversation. Also, it's really important to be able to get comfortable with silence and don't jump to fill it in. So sometimes it takes a second for someone to unmute themselves when they're talking. Sometimes people are on a little bit of a delay. So you want to let some time pass before you just start talking again. So you want to set the expectation that you're going to actively engage everyone in the discussion and follow through. So it's important to make everyone feel heard and make everyone feel like they're a part of what's happening. So as long as they're comfortable with that. If you're asking someone to speak for longer than a few minutes, make sure that you do give them a heads up prior to the meeting so that they're prepared for what you're going to ask them to talk about, and to make sure that their technology is working. Glitches and technology challenges definitely happen. Just roll with it and be prepared to run the meeting without aids like PowerPoint decks and handouts. It's inevitable that something's going to happen every single time, and there are just some things that we don't have control over. So be as prepared as you can for all of the things that you can have prepared, and then the rest of it, just have fun and roll with it. That brings me to the end of our presentation today. If there are any questions, now would be a great time to ask. And I will go ahead and stop the recording. Thank you.